My father was president of the condo in Florida, where he lived. And I bought him this Lexus.
So,
I know people must have been commenting about the Lexus down there. Where did he get that Lexus?
that's right. My son bought it for me.
He what?
My son bought me the car. It's a present.
You bought it?
That's right, I bought it.
You ever see one so nice?
Some car?
You want to take a ride?
No, thank you.
Come on, take a ride.
I want to take a ride.
Why not?
I don't feel like taking a ride. Do I have to take a ride?
He doesn't want to take a ride.
What do you think? I've never ridden in a Cadillac before. Believe me, I have ridden in a Cadillac hundreds of times. Thousands.
Thousands?
What do you think? You're such a big shot now because you got a Cadillac?
Ah.
Yeah.
Could you believe that guy?
Those characters are really, they're fun to write for.
Amore. Well, you missed the early bird.
Yeah? So?
Must be nice to have that kind of money. Bernie, look who's eating at 6 o'clock. You're suddenly well-to-do president.
Did you have a Cadillac and you don't eat at the early bird?
It just seemed like the next step, because he's president of the board, that maybe he was siphoning off some funds.
What's going on, Jack? I'll tell you what's going on. Morty Seinfeld has been stealing funds from the treasury.
Stealing?
What proof do you have?
Proof? You want proof? He's driving around in a brand new Cadillac. Now what more proof do you want?
My son bought me that car.
Your son?
Yeah.
Your son could never afford that car. We all saw his act last year at the Playhouse.
One of the things that was really funny about that show, yeah, because Jerry didn't mind being mocked, and how could the father of somebody who had an act like that, he couldn't possibly afford to buy them in that car.
He's lucky he can pay his rent.
That's right. He stinks.
It's his material. I do remember Jesse White on that episode because I saw him on the streets of Manhattan when I was a little kid, and I chased him down for blocks. And because he was on the Ann Southern show, he played KG. And I got his autograph, which I still have. So it was really fun to have him on the show. And that line he does with the cigar, it's his material, was really so perfectly delivered and such a hilarious line.
Jerry's dad was impeached as president, and we did this homage to Nixon, the movie, and a long ending with no dialogue, and the music carried the emotion of that whole long ending, and I nodded towards John Williams on that one.
For the Friars Club, we went to the Orpheum Theater in Los Angeles. Great old movie palace. And it was also a very successful vaudeville theater back in its day in the 20s and 30s. But it's a beautiful old palace.
We actually, shot an audience and shot, the magicians were the Flying Brothers Karamazov. We needed one of the magicians to be more preeminent in the episode, so we had to pick one of the four who are very equal to be the lead brother. That was very odd.
Hi, I was in the audience earlier. You threw my jacket down. I just wanted to pick it up.
Jacket? What jacket?
I had a jacket with a crest on it. You came into the audience. You threw it away. Agrabah.
Are you sure it was me?
Well, it was either you or one of your brothers.
Well, two of them have left already. Dmitri wants magic of rackety?
Get him yeah. It doesn't even belong to me. It belongs to the Friars Club.
Sorry.
I just have great memories of just roaming around that place and just going down below stage and the old dressing rooms, and you could just really sense the history of it. I mean, in Los Angeles terms, it was quite the place in its day.
Thank Thanks for that 4 a.m. wake-up call last night. Where the hell is that jacket?
Oh, the one with the crest.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's at the cleaners.
The cleaners, how did it get there?
Well, I borrowed it last night and it got a little dirty.
Great.
Somehow I dozed off and woke up in a pile of garbage.
Somehow? You've had an hour and 20 minutes sleep in 3 days.
Well, so look, the cleaner said you could pick it up tonight at 6.
All right. Just hope I can get it to the Friars Club before the show.
Won't be a problem to work out.
Hey. Hey!
Watch out, boy.
I had read once that Leonardo da Vinci had devised this plan where if he slept for like 10 minutes every 3 hours, he could stay awake 24 hours in a row. And I was always fascinated by it. So again, that becomes a Kramer idea.
Oh, Cosmo. Oh, honey, can you move a little? This hurts. Cosmo. Oh my God, Cosmo, wake up. Cosmo. Oh my God, he's dead.
There's a sequence where Kramer's kidnapped and then tossed into the East River. We did that in 2 different locations. The scene where you see the car drive up, that was shot here on the bridge down here at the bottom of the lot there. And we used we had a mannequin in the bag. As the bag gets thrown over the bridge, then you cut to a shot that was shot at Universal Studios back lot in a water tank.
I was dropped into the tank, and I was inside of a burlap bag, a large burlap bag. And when we first tried the scene, I didn't sink fast enough. So we had to put about 40 pounds of weights. And I've got this bag now. It's tight around me. I have to open it with my hands that come out of the bag.
We had a couple of scuba divers in the tank waiting by with oxygen.
They gave me a little oxygen lung, a small one. Divers are there. They're talking to me now. If anything goes wrong, you'll breathe through that and you'll live. I'm a certified diver, so I kind of I had that tucked under me. I know how to use that, but I didn't use it because you would have seen it. I come up on camera with this on, here I am,
Gola had to do like a bit of a Houdini trick. He has to worm his way out of the bag and then back up to the top. We did it in 2 takes, and he did it perfectly. It was like, I was so nervous shooting that because, anything can happen.
So what happened is I went down so fast. I mean, I hit the bottom like iron. I mean, I really hit that bottom. And I'm coming out of this, and the whole bag it's tight to my body, and I can't quite get clear of the bag, and I'm unable to breathe.
And then the shot where he comes back up, that was shot later that night using the same tank, but we had to shoot at a different angle, so of course you couldn't see the edges of the tank. We threw some trash into the water to simulate the East River.
The mafia princess, who was the girlfriend of Kramer in the episode, needs an attorney.
You gotta meet me at the police station. They're arresting me for attempted murder.
Attempted murder? Of whom?
This guy Kramer.
Oh, Cosmo Kramer?
Yeah, that's right.
I don't want nothing to do with it. It came in at the last minute for that. I don't know if it was an afterthought on the part of the writers or Larry and Jerry.
I thought Elaine with with Rob Schneider, who I knew from Saturday Night Live, with the hearing aid, was a very fun story based on a kid I went to high school with, who wore a hearing aid, and whenever it was called upon, if he did not know the answer, he would go to the hearing aid, and that just fascinated my friends and I that he got away with this for so long.
Hi, everybody. Bob, we have a little baptism by fire for you, so to speak.
Poor bastard.
I want you to handle all the fact-checking and the copy editing for the new catalog.
Could you repeat that?
Why don't you handle all the copy editing?
I'm sorry, what?
Copy editing. Never mind. Elaine, you do it.
I remember walking into her office and slapping down 2 tickets to the circus, and I told her that she and Bob could knock off a little early to get ready.
Mr. Peterman,
There's no need to deny it, Elaine. I heard every word you said.
And this was the monologue that was cut. And I said, Elaine, don't worry. I, too, am no stranger to love on the clock. As a young lad, my father apprenticed me to a honey factory in Belize. As a young lad, my father apprenticed me to a honey factory in Belize.
Oh, God.
The chief beekeeper was this horrible hag of a woman with gnarled teeth and a giant wart that she called a nose. Oh, she was not attractive even by backwoods standards. But love is truly blind, Elaine. As the days passed, working so closely together, that sweet smell of honey in the air, I knew I had to have that horrible creature. And I did. So you have a good time with Bob tonight. And that's an order. I remember that speech like it was, I think it was one of the great pieces of writing.
But I know you wouldn't be just having fun with his handicap. Ooh, that kind of cruelty would be grounds for dismissal.
Where's Mr. Peterman?
It was cut from the final because, again, it was extra. That was probably a minute and a half that they could have used for plot exposition.
Julia, who people forget is such a brilliant physical comedian, as well as, obviously, you know, her verbal dexterity, her at the end of the episode putting the hearing aid in, thinking it's a fake.
I just remember doing that scene at the end of the show and thinking how great it is to have something to disappear behind purely from a comedic point of view. It just always works. It doesn't really matter what you're doing as long as you disappear. It's kind of like the Jack in the Box for kids.